Hey, so this is Frazier, and I wanted to show you something I was working on, which is a online historical wax museum, and I'm using a combination of cascading style sheets and JavaScript in order to make this happen. And so I thought this would be a good illustration of how to do some of the things that you're probably going to want to do, like like interactive photo galleries and that sort of thing, as well as using some of the things that we've just recently learned in the JavaScript class, like the for loop and string matching and all that stuff. So don't be intimidated if some of this code is not familiar to you. But I thought that it's good to take some of the different lessons that we've been exploring and see how it can come together in a site. So I'm going to show you sort of how the site works, and then we're going to go in and look at some of the code. And again, don't be intimidated if some of this stuff is beyond you, because you're learning the important pieces. So first off, let me just tell you what the theory of this site is. It's basically like a group of historical characters, and then the vision is that students like yourself are going to make up videos introducing the characters. So, like Julius Caesar, somebody will record a video of themselves introducing Julius Caesar and who he is, or Joan of Arc and who she is, or Christopher Columbus and who he is. And really, I've just created the interface here, and then the students will create the videos where these characters will come to life. Now, I haven't done any of the videos yet, so really, I've just been working on setting up the gallery, and then also I've set it up where people can create their own galleries. But we're just going to start with this. So the first order of business here is you can see that I have a bunch of images that I've uploaded from the internet, and I've created these characters. And I used an array to do this. And so now I have it as such where when I mouse over a photo, it uses a combination of JavaScript and cascading style sheets to change this image over here. Actually, I don't know that I can move over here without doing it. Let's see. Okay. So, whoops. All right. So there's Confucius. And based on what I mouse over, it changes the image over here. And then if I click on the image, you can see the whole screen changes. And this is without, I haven't moved, I'm all on one web page here. So this is all contained in one web page. And then it shows this. And if I have who it's known for, let me go on Julius Caesar, known for this description. And then here's where the video will create. All right, so pretty simple. The other cool thing here is that it has a back and forward button. And if I wanted to, I could have an image of what the next exhibit is or whatnot. But I just have this. So I click forward, and it goes and it cycles through the different characters, etc. And then I actually click here. I think this is one page. Yep. So I click here, and then this again just changes the page. This is a div tag that is hidden until I click on the link, and then a person can put in their information. I put in these instructions, etc. But let's go back to the main page, and then the other thing I want to show, it'll be easier to show from here. So you see down here, I have a list of all the images, and if I run my cursor or my mouse over these, it still changes. The other two more cool things I want to show you, and then we'll go into the code. One is I have it set up to filter based on what type of character this is, whether it's a character from world history or a character from U.S. history. So like Bill Gates or Alexander Bell are characters from U.S. history, and then the other ones are characters from world history. And I'll show you how you can use your array in the for loop in your array to change that. So if I click world, you'll see that my characters here change. And if I click U.S., then it goes to characters that have been designated U.S. history. Last thing I'll show you is it's set up where students can suggest characters. So for instance, let's say I want to suggest the character Stonewall Jackson. Okay. Then what it does is it searches the database, and it says, and you see, it didn't leave the page. It's just searching the database that's stuck in the page, and it says, congratulations, that person is not in the database. And then I click suggest this character, and it goes to another page where a person can enter the character, update the database, and at that point, we're to interact with the database. And we haven't really talked about that because in order to have a database, which is like where you can save things, and the website can be generated based on things that many different users have saved. That requires another technology beyond JavaScript and beyond cascading style sheets or even HTML. It requires a database, which is like a big filing cabinet where you store stuff and then are able to pull it back. And at some point, we'll talk about that in a future class, some of the different ways that you can save records and call up records and whatnot. But we're not going to talk about that today. I just want to show you the interaction for how you could create an interactive photo gallery or searchable directory or something like that. All right. So those are the things I wanted to show. So let's first off, this is all on one web page. Okay, I haven't done any clicks to other pages. Last thing I'll show you on this page is something you've seen already. This is just a nav bar that changes when you highlight it, but these all go to different pages, so that's not what I'm really concerned about today. So let's take a look at what we have in the back end here. So I'm going to click View Source. All right. The biggest thing, let me minimize that a little bit. The biggest thing we have here is the array. Okay. And what we do here is I created a variable array, people list, and then in it I created a really long array of items. Okay, you can see that's really long. Now that I did not hand type all of those into this page. This is generated dynamically using the database, but I could very easily just type them here and then this becomes sort of a database for me. All right, so what do I have here? I have the ID. This is the database ID. Then I put first name. So what I've done here, just to review, I've created an array of objects. Remember objects when we talked about like first name, colon, and then the first name, or better yet here, first name, colon, first name, last name, Caesar. And then I put the link to the photo here. And then if there is a video, I put the URL for the video or the YouTube code for the video. And then here I said, known for great Roman general, blah, 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 blah. And then here I say history type. History type should have been yes. Okay, so some down here, those ones I might not have done. So this, I say history type is world. And if we scroll down to a lower one, history, this is Bill Gates. History type is US. Okay. So I have different elements for this object. I guess those are methods for the object. No, elements. Property, something for the object. So first name, Bill. Last name, Gates. The link for the photo is Bill Gates. He doesn't have a video. This one doesn't have a known for, but he does have a US type. Okay. So what you do for your photo gallery, if you want to put something other than just photos, you can put in any number of different properties. Like I know one of our students wants to create a gallery of reptiles and amphibians. Well, you could put the name of the alligator or something, put a photo link. You could put type, whether it's a reptile or an amphibian. You could put a description. You could put its Latin name. You could put whatever you want, and you do it in this format. So you create your array, right? People list, and then you put your bracket. You've done this with regards to your previous lessons if you've already gotten to the JavaScript. And then here, rather than just putting the name as one item, you can create with curly brackets any number of different properties for this object, which is part of your array. And what's cool about that is that then you can reference it, sort it, hide certain things, hide and show objects based on what the criteria are. So here we are there, and so that's the array. So we'll go down. And then, so I have that array, and it doesn't do anything, right? I mean, that's just in an array. But then the next thing I have here, and you see, rather than put all this JavaScript into the page. I actually just did this a few minutes ago. I pulled it out into a page that I include into this page. So if I open this, you can see here there's a lot more JavaScript, not that much more, a little bit more JavaScript. Let me minimize it so we can see it. A little bit more JavaScript, and then we'll go through and see how that works. So the